Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop for 10 more minutes. Thunderchief building action. Okay everybody, guess what? I'm ready to go get busy on my wings. Dad got my gear finished yesterday. Bam. I know you said you're thinking, well, wasn't they finished? Yeah, but he had to do some little last minute changing. He attached the air cylinder to the gear. Okay, this was just kind of the last minute idea he had, and I was working on all this over here, so I told him go ahead, and now they're finished. Okay, let me check it out. I'll show it to you. Working on my coffee here a little bit. See, what he did is he just kind of extended this bottom plate, made a little U, and made this deal right here with a bunch of holes in it, and works great now. But the issues we've been having, first we mounted that air cylinder straight, which I kind of knew it had to be a little bit of an angle, but I was hoping for the best. He brought it over and stuck it in there. Sure enough, this hit the main spar back there, and I didn't want to cut that off because I think it was would have still hit. But in case this didn't work, we wouldn't be able to use this air cylinder. Oh, I got myself in the head. So we didn't want to cut that off yet, but we knew it had to go at an angle. Okay, so we put it at an angle. Then the problem we was having, as you see, when you put that at an angle, not only does it go up and down, but it also goes side to side. It actually goes in a little circle. See, I don't know how well you guys can see that. Let me try and hold it real still. See, that kind of goes in a little circle. So it's got to move this way as well as up and down. So Dad made this up. So we went back to the drawing board, and he actually made this in two pieces. It's got a brass bushing down there, and it's pretty solid, and it works great, man. Another issue we was having is after we had it mounted in that first hole, okay, it worked great, man. 40 pounds of air pulled it up really good, but the cylinder bottomed out. It was about that much too short. So then Dad, he went home and made another deal. Okay, mounted it way down here. Well, that was too much. We had plenty of stroke on this air cylinder, but it took 100 pounds of pressure to pull it up, and I didn't, we can't have that, man, that's too much pressure. So then he said, well, I'll go home and make one with a bunch of holes in it. Can you guys see that? I don't know how well you can see it, but it's got a bunch of holes in it. Right here was our original hole, and that was the second hole we tried way down there. So we put it right there, and it works fine now. Works on 45 pounds of pressure, pretty good. And got that problem solved, but they work great. Nice lock on them, and it holds them solid too, man. Like that, you can't pull them down. It holds them solid. So that's great, and I think they're going to work fantastic. They work really smooth. They're really easy. He's got brass bushings on all this stuff, anything that moved. He also put brass bushings. Check out these oleo struts. Dad made these, man. And they've got brass bushings. These are actually tapped each way. It's a brass bushing that he milled. It's got a little piece of brass in the center of it, kind of T-shaped. Then he drilled and tapped the ends and put these little button head screws on. And man, it works great. All this stuff is brass bushing. Anything that's got a hole in it, it's got a brass bushing. This and all this stuff. And it is ready to go. It's got a nice spring in it. Hope that's going to be enough spring. Now I just got to take them apart and paint them. Clean them up a little bit. But that's that. That's what we got going there. Man, I still got 5 minutes left. Well, I'm going to keep this short. This is all working out great. I don't know why this thing wasn't working. Maybe I'll hook my air compressor to it and blow some air through it. See if that don't. It's been sitting a long time. Maybe it just needs cleaned out a little. But I'm not too congested. I'm going to have to lengthen my battery cables. When old John made them batteries for us, he asked me how long I wanted them cords, and I told him, and I was way off. I don't know why I was thinking that. Maybe I thought I was going to turn that receiver. They still wouldn't be long enough. I want my batteries way up here. So I'm going to make me some extension cords. I got to go to the hobby store and get some Dean's plugs, get some wire, and a bunch of little button head screws to screw all these doors back on. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut one in there. No big deal. And that's the game plan. We're going to get rolling. I'm going to get on this. We're going to be taxi testing in a few days. You know, Paul's going to come down. Oh, Sharp Pencil. He's working on our cockpit. And that first guy kind of faded on us, man. He was kind of a scale fanatic, and I don't think we was building this airplane scale enough for him. But, you know, this is the way I look at it. I'm not going to the Scale Masters. I'm trying to make this a practical flying airplane that looks like a 105. I'm not out to build an exact scale replica. Okay, you know, guys know me. I like to travel. I hit the road, and I go to jet meets, and I like to fly my stuff. And that's where you got to find that happy medium. What you do. You know, there's people out there that compete for the Scale Masters and want to build 100%. That's fantastic. I'm glad we have them people. Myself, you know, I like my planes to look good. And, you know, I really enjoy taking, you know, having things that other people, you know what I mean, a non-ARF. You know, for someone to bring out an airplane exactly like mine and set it down, that just you know what I mean? You know, but I like to build, and so that's kind of where I'm at with that. But you know, there's people, you know, it's just, you know, for the people, and what you plan on doing with the airplane is how, you know, far a guy should take it. And that's my story. You know, I'm sticking to it. I like to fly my stuff. You know, if I gotta replace a little bit of ruggedness with a little bit of scaleness, as long as it don't affect it too bad, that's, you know, I'm for it. You know, these gear are really scale looking though. I mean, they look good. And I got another issue with my gear doors. They're hitting the fuselage as they open. They only open about that far, which is plenty enough room, you know. But I think on the next one, when I lay up my next set of wings, I'm actually going to move this deal in my mold and take it out another 1/8 inch. Just that's all I need. It's just another 1/8 inch that way. And then they'll open flat against the fuselage sides. I had a couple people saying, why don't I make them, hinge them on the fuselage? There's a couple reasons. One, I'm not into being that scale, you know. And for another reason, I would have to cut slots in here. And that would just weaken all that unless, you know, I put a big bulkhead in there, which I probably ought to do anyway. But as far as making a set of hinges, you know, I'm just going to go with this, especially on this prototype. It'll be fine as long as them gear go up and shut. I'm happy. And that's where I'm at, people. So stay tuned for some more Bob TV. We're going to get to rolling, and we're going to get this Thunderchief in the air after we do our taxi testing in the street. So, we'll see you back at the shop, people. Thanks for tuning in. See ya, same Bob time, same Bob station. This episode of Bob TV was broadcasted in Philovision. This is a drama-free zone.